When we reduced when we intervened last year as it related to the debit card fees, we always intended to come back to that issue because it really was an initial attempt. Traditionally, we've not been involved in the pricing of transactions, but we recognized that this was an initial attempt, and we said to the banks and credit unions at the time that is something that we would revisit once we've had an opportunity to see how it works, and therefore we have sort of initiated the conversation. It's not something that we can do overnight, but we've initiated the conversation with the banking sector in particular on this matter, and hopefully, I can't give you a specific timeline, but hopefully in the near future we'll be able to come back to you and say what the outcome of that has been, because it's a complex issue, and therefore we want to make sure that we can ease the burden on the community in general, while recognizing that the banks will also have to make some sacrifices and some decisions as we go forward.
Since then, though, can you say whether or not they have kept their promise or the cap? Has that remained in place, or has the bank been receiving complaints about people who might have noticed that there've been an increase?
We have not been receiving. What we did last year was specifically to make an adjustment as it related to the ATM charges for when you don't use your bank, and that is something that I think individuals have to recognize that there's a choice, and therefore in the exercise you know that if you use another bank's machine that there will be a charge. So therefore, to the extent that you can, and it's not always possible, but to the extent that you can, use your own bank's machine, and there's zero cost for you. And what we also were able to do last year is that when you go to use your debit card at a point of sale machine, there's no charge for you. I think
any amount of money spent, or that?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Once you as an individual,
Okay.
but I think where the costs are rising is where the merchant who has processed that transaction, there's a cost to them, and the cost that are facing has gone up, and that's what they are complaining about. So we have to try to see how we can get a balance in that regard, because in a sense they are carrying the fact that you're not paying anything on your transaction. They are now carrying that cost, and that's what they are speaking out about. So we have to look to see how that can be addressed.